Assalamu alaikum students. Hope you all are fine and fit. So far we have completed 2 units and now we will start unit 3, Puru the Brave. Look at the picture and answer the questions that follow. Students, here you have 3 questions. Like first question you have, talk about what is happening in the picture. Second one, would you think maybe the cause of this war? Third one, who is Puru? What do you know about him? Major wars, actually you need to write few points about impact of wars on human life. Major wars like World War I and World War II. This World War I and World War II left a lot of impact on people. Not only these wars, but there were many wars in between kingdoms. Even those wars also showed impact on common people's life. Let's begin the lesson. Puru the Brave. In Telugu, Puru means Purushottama Raju, a person who have lot of courage and braveness. Means in Telugu, Dhairyavantudu. We call Dhairyavantudu. Okay, students? Before getting into the text, here we have some characters. First character we have the king of Macedonia, who conquered Greece, Persia, etc. Means who won Greece, Persia, etc. countries. Puru, the king of northern India, and 4 Greek generals with 6 soldiers. Okay, students? Let's begin the lesson. The camp of Alexander on the banks of the Zalem. Alexander is, inside a tent, Alexander is sitting on a high chair and his 4 generals are sitting on low chairs. Two Greek soldiers are standing at the door. Alexander is having a talk with his generals. Now we are going to start a conversation dialogues between Alexander and his generals. Okay, students? First, Alexander said that the Battle of Zalem will go down in the history of our country. First general said, it will go down in the history of India too. Then second general said, it will go down in the history of the world. Then the third general said, I have never fought such a battle before. Then fourth general said, I haven't either. Until the last moment, I couldn't believe that we could be able to defeat the army of Purus. Means the battle is over. This war is called as Zalem War. Why it is called Zalem War? Because this war was fought on the bank of the river Zalem. The war is over. After the war, Alexander and his generals having a talk about the war. What happened during the war and after the war. Okay? They all are praising the war. First general is saying it will go down in the history of, it will go down in the history of India. Means it will be remembered in the history of India. And second general is saying, it will remain in the history of the world. Then third general said, I have never fought such a war before. And fourth general also praising by saying, until last moment, I couldn't believe that we would be able to defeat the army of Purus. It was such a great battle that even after years, it will be remembered not only in India but also in the whole world. Then Alexander said, yes, it has been a great battle, perhaps the greatest of my life. I must say, every Indian soldier fought like a tiger. Alexander says, yes, it has been a great battle. I had fought many wars against many kingdoms, but this war is the greatest of my life. I must say, every Indian soldier fought like a tiger. Imagine the war skills and ideology of the Indian king Puru. Though he has lost the Zealand war, Alexander started praising all the Indian soldiers by saying they fought like a tiger. Okay, students? For that, first general said, they fought like devils, Your Majesty. Then Alexander replied, the Indians are good soldiers. They know how to fight. They fight better than our men. This is the one of the best compliment to any kingdom's king and soldier by an enemy or opposition who had defeated them. Alexander said, Indian soldiers are good soldiers. They fought better than our men. Then second general said, but their generals aren't so good as ours. Then Alexander said, if you mean they aren't so brave as the Greek generals, I don't agree. I don't agree with you. Alexander again started by saying, appreciating Indian generals, don't say that our generals are better than their generals. Means Alexander again started by appreciating Indian generals. Don't say that our generals are better than their generals. Then second general said, but they aren't very skillful, Your Highness. Second general again started that they aren't very skillful, Your Highness. Then Alexander said, I see what you mean, and here I agree with you. The Indian generals are still following the old methods of warfare. Their battle plans are faulty and they depend too much upon their elephants. But as fighters, they are wonderful. I have the highest respect for them. Here, Alexander agrees with his generals and says the Indian generals are good generals and soldiers. But the problem is they are still following the old methods of warfare. Means the rules, strategies, plans that kings follow before they do war, like in the movie Bahubali, we have observed how they follow warfare. Like students, like that, Alexander says that they are good fighters, but they too much depend upon their elephants. But as fighters, they are wonderful. I have the highest respect for them. Then the third general said, I was amazed to see how Puru fought in the Battle of Zealand. Third general started saying about Puru, I was very much amazed to see how Puru fought in the Battle of Zealand. Then fourth general said, he continued to fight even when others had left the field. I think he killed at least 100 of our men with his sword. So here fourth general says he continued to fight even though his soldiers and others had left the field. He killed 100 of our men with his sword. Then the second general said, and injured many more. Means he not only killed 100 of our men, but also he injured many more. Then first general said, he was badly injured himself. For that, the second general said, that's why we were able to capture him. Because of those injuries, we are able to capture him. Then Alexander said, oh, he is a brave man and a great soldier. I wish he was one of my generals. Then Alexander says, oh, Puru was a brave man and a great soldier. I wish he was one of my generals. Then second general said, he is a proud man, your majesty. For that, Alexander said, a soldier is not a soldier if he is not proud. I am not angry with him at all. He was not frightened by the news of my victories and refused to bow before me. Alexander says, a soldier is not a soldier if he is not proud. I am not angry with him at all. He was not frightened, means he was not afraid by the news of my victories and refused to surrender his kingdom to me and show respect to me because of my fear. How other kings surrender their kingdoms to me. Then first general said, he will be brought to you, your majesty, soon. The first general is saying, he will be brought to you, your majesty, soon. Let us see how he behaves. The first general is saying, Puru will be brought in front of you, your majesty. Let's see how he behaves. Then Alexander said, I am sure he will not behave like a coward. For that, Alexander says, I am sure he will not behave like a coward. Like this, students, Alexander and his generals discussing about an Indian king's greatness. Now, Puru will be brought in front of Alexander. How Puru will behave and how a great king he is, we will know about him in next session. Till then, thank you. Allah Hafiz and have a great day.